are live. Hello there. Hello
Hello.
and welcome. Man, I've got some audio issues. Can you hear me? Holler if you hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
That's what's up. Hey, so welcome to the inaugural
What?
episode, episodic, episode, episodic, Beyond the Ropes. My name is Fernando, aka RetroRelapse. With me is Randy, Randizzle,
What is up?
and we're here to do a podcast for you guys. We are wrestling fanatics, wrestling maniacs, and dude, we just love talking wrestling.
Love talking
And we
wrestling.
want to invite you in and welcome you to our show.
Welcome to a inaugural edition of the Beyond the Ropes.
Some gospel.
You know, we're here to speak on a little bit of AEW, a little bit of WWE, a little bit of New Japan, a little bit of TNA, everything, anything that you've missed or trying to catch up on. Let us be the source. Let us be the mecca to your wrestling knowledge, where we drop old school and new school, present, past, future, everything in between. We love wrestling, like Fernando said. We're here to share our love with you and discuss wrestling because there's just so much of it. So what's going on, Fern?
I'm having some issues. I'm trying to see if I can disable some stuff. Can you hear anything that's coming out of my mouth? Give me a little bit of.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine. I think you just it's just on your end.
What?
Yeah, I'm having a little.
You know, it's just on you. Don't worry about it. Just keep on going. It'll be clear as day. Just you're worried about nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about nothing. See, what people need to understand and realize is this is not our first rodeo here
Oh
dealing with
yeah.
technical difficulties, let alone just a podcast in general. We used to be on a podcast with our brothers in Recap Mania. Shout out to our producer Cody Brusso uh, for giving us a platform to work with. We gotta give our flowers in the beginning before we never speak of them again, brother. But
Ever
we gotta
again.
give our props to uh, Cody Russo for helping us get to where we're at right now. We did this before some time back, and here we are again. Uh, and also shout out to Gabe Espala, who is our other co-host at the time. Hopefully, he'll we can get him back on and talk some wrestling. But we also have to give a big shout out to our other co-producer or musical co-producer, P Breezy, PB, uh, for getting us hooked up with our intro, outro, and everything else in between when we need a little music or something there. So yeah, we have been to the ringer before. We're under a new name now. We decided to move forward what we had going on. There was a I don't know how what you would call it, but we were in a little group under the banner of the recap. Uh, Recap Mania was the wrestling portion. Recap had other things to do with other sports and men's mental health and all kinds of other groovy things that were going on over there. But uh, as time passed, things faded, and we went ahead and decided, you know what, it was time to do what any other uh, group would do when a faction fades, and you just go out on your own, try to make a name for yourself. So here we are, BTR, baby.
BTR Beyond the Ropes. You're gonna be able to
Got it.
catch us on everything: Twitch, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Amazon Music. We're gonna be on everything. Everything. We're gonna be going to local shows, national shows. You'll be seeing signs at the Royal Rumble. You'll be seeing signs at AEW shows, WWE shows, T-shirts. You'll be seeing us. We're really gonna make a splash and really go into it. So I mean, there's a lot of things going on. There's so much wrestling going on. in every company going on. So, any thoughts, Fernando, on what's going currently in the wrestling world?
I mean, currently, man, you got a whole bunch of things going on. I know it's been a little bit since we've talked wrestling. You and I still, sh- shoot the business from time to time about what's going on. But man, there's a plethora of things that are going on that just need to be conversed about, need to be talked about. Where can I get this set up at? Okay, cool. Did he send it? Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I've got three screens going on. I'm trying to get some more people up in here to come and watch and see what's up.
Well, what's up?
So I don't know, man.
I
What
like
is
that
this?
Cody just hit up, like the fact CM Punk is gay. I concur on that shit.
Oh, the producer bringing the beef.
Something to converse about, correct. CM Punk
Uh,
is
and
gay.
isn't it lovely that he's back in WWE and you can watch him on Netflix, Cody, while you're bored at work? Because he will always be on your screen on Netflix, Cody. Uh,
Before he even types it, I'm pretty much sure he's gonna say, before he gets hurt. Before he gets hurt, you might enjoy him for a slight bit. You might get maybe a winter of Punk. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see.
it's Rumble season, so here we go. It is Rumble. We're on the cusp of Royal Rumble season. It is the weekend in San Antonio of main event. We've got main event right around the corner, and that's going to be our lead off to where we go to Royal Rumble. I know they're doing Cody and KO for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yo, Pay Braze up in the chat.
Up in the chat.
The contract signing is this Saturday with Shawn Michaels as the guest moderator.
Oh yeah, and you know what's gonna happen? What happens when you let Shawn Michaels moderate the face to face between Cody and Kevin Owens?
You just made the
What's
list.
that?
You just made the list, buddy.
Oh my lord!
But hey, there's a lot of things building up, and this Saturday in San Antonio, they're gonna have Saturday Night Main Event, where you're gonna get to see this. And if you're in the area, I suggest you drive in. There's a lot of wrestling going on in San Antonio this week. You're gonna get not only WWE's main event, but you're also gonna get some TNA tapings also. And now that their partnerships going on, you might see some
Tapings.
NXT
They're
tars.
live right now. They are live on TV right now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then they're also doing pre-recording tomorrow, so you might get
Hmm.
to see a little bit of some NXT stars, since it is NXT and A now. I mean, for the next couple of years, so we'll see. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Hey, you should be driving around those the hotels by downtown San Antonio, see if you see any superstars.
Ooh,
You know, that's what's going on.
ooh, you know what? You're not wrong. You are not wrong because I know. Hey man, they gotta have somewhere to sleep.
I gotta sleep. Gotta
They
sleep.
gotta they gotta have somewhere to sleep.
Well, let me throw you something out. I know it's a jump. It is a week, and we will discuss the Royal Rumble more in depth next week, next Thursday. But just throw out a name. Who do you think's gonna win? A real, not CM Punk. Before you say it, just throw out one female, one male name. Just who you would be surprised to see, or maybe just who you think's gonna win. Just randomly, we can discuss next
It's
Thursday.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. It's a little tough because you have a lot of the known names that are coming out. Some big heavy hitters that are coming back just to get in it because this is the first one that's being pushed around worldwide, not only through Peacock but through Netflix. Netflix is actually doing it. If you have a VPN, you can watch it in the states on Netflix, but it's in other countries.
Are they
Crazy
still gonna
enough,
be posting it
PLE
on Peacock, or is it
right
Netflix
now
everything?
in the states, the Peacock is still showing the PLEs,
Okay, okay.
premium live events. For all those out there that are watching, there are your regular fans, your very nerdy fans like we are, and then you have your every once in a while kind of people that watch. I know my friend in the chat, Cody Brusso, is one. We
And
like to call them casuals,
Pete Breezy just
casual
hit it.
brand,
The casual.
right? And then you have those, and we're gonna upgrade since now we are in the Netflix era of WWE. You've been upgraded, Cody Russo, to the global casual because it is global worldwide. So you are the regular global dummy watching and
What?
eating up the merch, eating up the shows. Watch it from episode one. Enjoy CM Punk.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, uh,
Jesus Christ.
I love the chat. The chat is going up. I know more about Pinky than you. So says the global casual brother Randy. So says he.
Fuck you.
Shut up,
But as
bitch!
far as who would win the Rumble, I mean, it depends on where they want to take it. I mean, you've got John Cena in there that could possibly take it. You've got CM Punk that could possibly have a story out of there. And I only bring him up because y'all brought him up. I wasn't going to bring him up. But, I mean, who it could give it to Seth Rollins. There's You could give it to Drew McIntyre if you actually want to give him a story. You could give it to Kevin Owens if he decided to go and run and jump in there, depending on where they put the Rumble and his match with Cody during the event.
I think there has to be a championship. I think they'll start with a women's Royal Rumble, and then a championship match, and then the men's Royal Rumble is always the main event usually. So you're right. There could be a good chance of whoever's fighting for the championships, whether they lose or win, can enter the Royal Rumble at the same time, which would be pretty cool. I mean, you get to see a little bit more, and I mean, you're not wrong. There's a lot of superstars, and there could be the possibility of surprise entrances, not only in the women's Royal Rumble, but the men's Royal Rumble as well. And with his partnership with TNA, who knows who you'll see? Maybe you'll see Joe Hendry. I don't know. You could believe in him. He might show up. He might appear.
I'm hoping to see some surprise entrance because last year we didn't see any surprise entrance. Last year was just everybody on the roster.
But the roster's so stacked that it's not unrealistic just to have the roster, you know. And then you save the surprises for the women's because there's not that many women. And there is a lot of women, but a lot of women that aren't ready for the Royal Rumble because of their matches. And you know the women's already spread thin with all the championships. If you take all the championship women, they're kind of out already. So
Breezy in the chat, Chris Benoit for men and China for women.
God damn.
I mean, if we're gonna be digging up some bones, let's go. Dig them up. Let's get someone to prop them out there. And just kind of.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I don't know. I like to see some surprises with the women as well. I mean, I know there's been dirt sheet talk for our global casuals. Dirt sheet is all the things that are happening on the interwebs about people talking about the stuff that they're hearing outside or the buzz that they're hearing from others that are in the circles of everything that's going on. Jordan Grace has left TNA. She's had her final goodbyes, and now she's going to join possibly TNA, if not the actual WWE roster. So
you said Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace.
Surprise.
Jordan Grace is part of TNA. What?
No, she's no longer TNA.
But you said she might join the TNA roster.
No, NXT roster. My apologies.
Oh, okay,
NXT roster. I'm already getting trampled over the NXT concept that they have going on, where they're trying to merge everyone together.
Gotcha. I mean, you have Josh Alexander who just quit TNA at Genesis, the fucking machine, or the walking weapon. I mean, that could be a great surprise entrance, whether he's part of WWE or just making a special guest appearance, because a lot of people are jumping, I won't say jumping ship, but taking advantage of the possibility of being in multiple companies at the same time, or TNA WWE, or maybe just AEW altogether, or New Japan. So there's a lot of things going on. And so who would you say you'd like to see win? Just randomly. We don't have to discuss it. We just throw a name out there.
I'd say John Cena. Okay. He's on his retirement tour. He's on his last legs. Let's go for one more time. Let's give him that 17 to beat Ric Flair, even if it's a short run, just to say he done it. Boom.
I think he's a company man. Ric Flair had 16 championships in different companies. John Cena's done it in one company. So I think if you're gonna invest in the people who invested in you, John Cena's a good name, especially for his retirement tour. That'd be perfect. How about women's?
Women's, it's a little hard to say because I don't know who they're going to try to push now. They've already pushed Tiffany Stratton to the top. They gave her the Money in the Bank briefcase. She finally cashed it in. She is now the women's world champion on SmackDown, and Rhea Ripley has the belt back on Raw. They could push Liv Morgan again. Maybe they push Raquel Rodriguez. That would be nice to see. But Raquel is just like her if she's still with boyfriend Braun Strowman, who easily gets injured. So that could be a waste as well.
They're not together anymore.
Well,
There you go. He got hurt.
they both get hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to depend on that. I mean, what women are there on the roster? Are we going to give it to Jade Cargill when she makes her comeback? Is she going to be a surprise entrance to come back, going out, or are they going to pull the storyline where she just goes after the people that hurt her and then she doesn't win?
I think that's right. I would say if I said men's, I'd probably give it to Kevin Owens because he's probably going to lose his match with Cody, and I give the Royal Rumble to Kevin Owens or Randy Orton. And for the women, I just give it to Charlotte. I think she's going to make her return. Her or Becky might make a return, but I'd give it to Charlotte if she does show up. So, the Queen.
Okay. What if we give it to Nikki Bella, who's going to make her return to the ring?
Nah, she's the nostalgia act, and that's exactly what she'll stay as. Nostalgia act. Which is fine, because when Trish came in and she had that program with Becky Lynch a year and a half ago, 2 years, like, that was a great program. It didn't stray them away from what was going on, and they had a good show out, and that's it.
And it showed that Trish still had it.
Yeah. I think
didn't skip a beat.
She didn't skip a beat. She was really clean compared to Amy Dumas or Lita, whatever you want to call it. That was a Matt Hardy version 3. So, ding 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 ding. Oh, my back. So whatever the case may be, I mean, I think there's a lot of. It's Royal Rumble season. It's the road technically to WrestleMania soon, and there's a lot of things that could happen with all the mergers, the deals going on. Like, I don't know, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. And if you're in the area, there's a lot of local shows going on also. There's a lot of signings. Rikishi signing next week, right? Or this coming weekend?
This weekend, Hodgepodge Tastic, I believe somewhere on the northeast side of San Antonio, off of 1604, will be there at that shop signing autographs, taking selfies, and talking about the stink face.
I know AEW superstars are in Dallas right now, and they're doing some signings at Dallas Vintage Store, Toys Collection. They're going to be there the beginning of February. They're setting up the granddaddy of their WrestleManias, All In July in Dallas. So I know there's a lot of signings going on right now this week also in the Dallas area for AEW superstars, because I believe there's also Tessa Blanchard's going to be signing in somewhere in Temple or Killeen at one of those shops this weekend. And I think Mark Briscoe's also signing in the Dallas Temple area or Waco area. So there's a lot of things going on. Again, great time to be a wrestling fan.
Russo broadcast in the chat, Cody, Braun Breaker, if it's not just to showcase him and get ready for his run as a Rumble winner. That's not a bad idea. But who does he go to face? I'm pretty sure it'd be Gunther to try to take the belt off to Gunther.
Yeah. Who? I mean, they might. I doubt it, but they might let Jey Uso take a win since he's so popular going into the WrestleMania season. But Gunther's also very popular, so it's kind of hard to gauge right now. Like I said, it's just there's so many superstars and they're building more. You got people like Penta who just showed up this past 2 weeks ago, and I mean that's another wild card that could be thrown into any match. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people. There might be Aleister Black, aka Malachi Black, who might show up. He just left AEW. I saw on the dirt sheets that Britt Baker DMD is on her way out of AEW also. So I don't know when her. I think her contract ends in the next month or two. So right in time for WrestleMania season. So you just never know who you might see pop up, and there's so many storylines going on. It's redunculous.
Hmm. There's so much potential for great things to happen, but uh, it just really depends on where they're going to go with it, what they're going to say, what they're going to do, and how they're going to keep feeding off of. Because Triple H is a guy who one is running the show now, but loves to do long term storytelling. So it's not going to be something that's a one off unless it is meant to be a one off. Something has to kind of build and build towards an epic explosion compared to just things that have happened in other wrestling shows or indie shows where it's just I don't really know what's going on, but they're wrestling.
No, I got you. I got you.
Bruce Hill in the chat. Tell him how petty Tony is about Britt. Oh man, is he petty? What was Cody telling me yesterday that he was showing video of Britt Baker being beat up by Chris Statlander.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
She got fucking destroyed. She finally came back after being suspended for that altercation between her MJF and MJF's fiance or girlfriend, whoever the fuck she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets her ass beat by Chris Statlander. Like, it was a good match for Chris Statlander.
Yep. The day the news about Britt dropped, AEW released a video of her and Statlander. That's hilarious.
Fuck it.
And in big news, apparently, Tajiri makes his GCW debut. Man, I am surprised that man is still alive, let alone out there being the Japanese buzzsaw, because that man was so good.
Dude, did you see that video I sent you? It was super crazy doing the backflip off the balcony.
Yes.
That was last
Yes.
weekend. That was last weekend. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at a MLW show. So, I mean, these people, I think people forget, like, these legends, even though they put their body through a lot of stuff, for the love of wrestling or just money, whatever the fuck it is, they still put on a pretty gnarly show. And you can see it. If you go online, you can go to MLW, GCW, Hog Wrestling. There's so many, River City Wrestling. There's so many wrestling organizations out there. I mean, what's Booker T's reality wrestling? They have
Mm-hmm.
Zilla Fatu, or who is it?
Yep, that's the younger brother of the Usos.
Exactly. Like, dude, there's a lot of things going on, and there's so many storylines that could be built up. There's a lot of people. It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
But outside of that Royal Rumble season, how about a little bit of AEW? What's been going on their neck of the woods?
You have a whole bunch of little things that are going on. They're trying to build up for their next pay-per-view, which is in March. What is that pay-per-view? It already slipped my mind. I was watching some of it earlier, what they were trying to do. Dang it. I'm not going to remember right now. I know it's in March, the beginning of March. They have their next pay-per-view. Revolution? I think it's Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And they're building their stories right now. They also have the AEW Grand Slam in Melbourne, Australia. That is coming up the 15th.
It's Kenny and what's that kid's name? Osprey versus
Will Osprey
and versus Takeshita and Fletcher, right? That's gonna be a good match.
Oh yeah. Oh Takeshita. Showrunner needs to add chat to the video. What is this, amateur hour?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's actually amateur hour because I don't know how to do it. So there you go. But it does need to be added.
That's why it's on the Twitch right now.
That's why it's on Twitch. Better that than nothing at all.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
How do you feel about this storyline between MJF and Jeff Jarrett?
I feel like they're just trying to cascade Jeff Jarrett's legacy per se, and put him versus his younger self, because MJF is somewhat. I know I'm gonna get a lot of smack talk for this, but at least the way they're portraying it in the interviews or the little one-offs on the mic, the little back and forth, that MJF is the younger version of Jeff Jarrett, because Jeff Jarrett has done everything that Maxwell Jacob Friedman has been doing. So
I
it's kind of I'm not too into it. I mean, it's cool to see MJF. I'd like to see him wrestle, but he barely wrestles as it is, and he's got to get a good story going before he actually gets in the ring and does some stuff. And the zingers are there, but I get it. Jeff Jarrett's got like a year left. Also, he's another one that's getting ready to hang up the boots and maybe just do more creative stuff and or nothing. So kudos, but is it something I really want to see? Not really.
I think
It,
it was a misuse of MJF. Like he was such an up on an uptick, and all of a sudden now he's just like he's barely mid card at this point. I'm not saying he's a lower tier. It's just the way they're portraying him. He's not your homegrown anymore. Same thing with Sammy Guevara. Same thing with Darby Allin. Like they're bringing all these other people in, and everyone who had been holding up AEW for 2022, 2023, even 2024. Like that shit cascaded towards the end of 24, and now you're just like, it's just they're just there. The storylines are pretty soft or weak at that. I think it's a little disappointing. Like we talked about this since the inauguration of AEW. Like you just get some writers. I'm not saying you have to change the style of things you do. Like the fucking wrestling's awesome. No one can top AEW as far as the wrestling part. But if you're gonna have these people cutting promos or talking, you need some kind of story for them to build on top of. If not, it's just they go to New Japan, they come back with a new belt, but you don't even know why, unless you're watching New Japan. They go to Ring of Honor, even though it's owned by Tony Khan, and they come back with a belt, and you're like, when did they get that belt? When did they, like they're trying to like tell you a story without telling you a story? So I don't know, man. It's just I'm still an AEW fan. It's still fucking awesome, and they have great matches, and there's still a lot of bangers that go on. There's a lot of great wrestlers, but sometimes it's just hard to follow anything going on with the people you like or love because they're in one program for a week, and then there's a big match, and then that's it. Like there's nothing else to kind of follow through with it. There's nothing to conclude. It's just there it is, and that's it. So
yep.
I think if they start changing that, it'll be just need to change a little bit, just slightly, and they'll be fine because they have so many superstars, really, or professional wrestlers there. You got these new factions with the Death Riders and the Acclaim breaking up, and Don Callis family getting bigger. So I mean, there's a lot of things going
Tony
on. Also,
Khan is real big about pushing ex WWE stars, which is you know crazy in itself. Because I get it. They've been at the big show. They have a draw to their name supposedly. And then when you do have the ones that do have a draw, they get a bigger push. And the ones that I'm talking about specifically are, uh, what is the name? It always the Hurt Business.
the
There we
Hurt
go.
Business, the Hurt
The
Syndicate,
Hurt Business.
the Hurt
The
Syndicate.
Hurt
Yeah,
Syndicate. There you go. Hurt Business was over in WWE. The Hurt Syndicate. And crazy enough, they've only been there what, a couple months, if
Shelton Benjamin's probably pushing 2 months, maybe, and the almighty Bobby Lashley's maybe been there a month.
and they pushed them so much that Private Party did not get a long run with the tag team championships because they just lost them last night to them.
Your homegrowns who took 5 years to win the championships from the Young Bucks now have nothing all over again. I mean, it's tough. I mean, granted AEW, I mean WWE stars that go to AEW have some weight behind them from the platform they were on with WWE, but I mean, come on, that the whole point of being the alternative to watching WWE is to have championships and wrestlers that are an alternative to what you see on WWE. You hire WWE stars and then you just give them the push, you give them the rub, and now they're champions. Like that's ridiculous. I don't get me wrong, they're hot. They're hot. They have a great crowd reaction right now. Like they do. They have all of that. Like if you watch when they won, I mean, people were pumped. But because they tell a good story. They tell a good story. They really do.
Think about it. Just about every championship being held in the AEW right now is in the hands of a WWE superstar, except for a few. Your world champion John Moxley, ex WWE. Your tag team champions are ex WWE. Who women's champion? No.
Yeah, I
Your
mean
your
Mercedes Monet,
Your
TBS,
TNT Women's Champion or
TBS.
TBS Champion Mercedes. That's ex WWE.
Who do you tell me this? Who is
One
the
of your
TNT?
trios champions is
Who
Pac, who used to be
who's the
Neville in WWE.
who's the TNT champion? I don't even know.
TNT champion is Daniel Garcia.
Oh shit! I didn't even know.
Hmm
That's how he's not shown often. And you're correct, sir. We have a Lone Star hat because Dopo Chico did never sponsored me. So we're going with a local beer, Texas beer. But
That's right. Keep it local.
keep it local. But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, all their champions.
Keep it
And
local and keep it loco.
there you go, little Sammy Guevara style right there. I'm
Hmm
loco, man.
Local, baby.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you strive to be the alternative, and you are WWE light, as Cody said on the chat. Like it's WWE light. They have a lot of wrestling, no stories. They're pretty much NXT leveled up. They have no storylines. They're just wrestling, trying to get the reps in. And it's like I said, there's so much potential there. We've been talking about this for years. For years, there's so much potential, and I mean, I can't help but say, like, if you got shit or get off the pot at this point. You got shit or get off the pot. 5 years is a long time to be going in circles and chasing your tail instead of going forward. So I believe in AEW. I believe in AEW. I know they have the potential to do great, if not better, things in WWE in a lot of ways, and they can be literally the alternative to what WWE is. But they just need the right direction, and the people they're hiring, they seem like a bunch of yes men, and they're like, yeah, that's a great idea, but it's just the same shit repeated. It's the same shit repeated. You try to slap a fresh painted coat, but it's just not working. So
Man, what else is going on? What else is good?
there's a lot of things going on, man. It's wrestling. It's a time to be alive. Wrestling's on 5 to 6 days a week.
Hmm
During pay-per-view weeks or PLE's weeks, it's on 7 days a week.
True.
So you got Monday Night
But
Raw.
is it all good? No.
I mean, no. I mean, you have to filter
It's
the
nice to
trash.
see that it is running, but I mean,
Yeah, you have to filter the trash. Like it's
do I
gonna
really want
happen.
to sit here and talk about Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai going for the women's Intercontinental Championship? Do I want to spend 30 to 45 minutes talking about that? No. Becky Lynch Light or Becky Lynch Jr.? No. But it's very nice to see that WWE finally made some new championships for the women that deserve to have a mid card belt because it's always just been the championship. I think they're pushing now to try to bring more in to give them something because now they have the women's United States Championship and the women's Intercontinental. That's great to see, you know.
I think with WWE going to Netflix and going down to 2 hours, but SmackDown coming to USA and being 3 hours, like you have the opportunity to say those stories in a different way. I I like Chelsea Green. I think she's fucking hilarious. I mean, and her being the first U.S. women's champion from Canada, like you can fucking run with that. She could do a Kevin Owens run when he was the U.S. champion. He's like, I'm your Canadian and I'm your U.S. champion. You know, she could.
Hmm
She's hilarious. Now, Valkyria, she's very. She's when she talks, she mumbles.
Green.
When she mumbles too much because of her thick accent. So I don't think it just translates well. I think they should have given to someone who was a little more loud or like because Dakota Kai is also like in that she's very mousy. So I can see why like that kind of took a turn. But at the same token, you're talking about Raw going 2 hours. The women on
Raw's
Raw
not 2 hours.
is not.
Nope. If you look at the tickers on the past three shows, well, the first one obviously because it was the first one, they went 3 hours. Second and third have been roughly about 2:30 to 2:45.
So you're hitting because you're not having so many commercials, right? There's commercials, just
Correct.
not
There's
so many.
commercials.
Yeah, there's
But
commercials, but not so many. So I mean, but still 2.5 hours. You
it's a
and
great feel. It's a
that's,
great feel compared to 3 hours and then some.
it's nice though.
Hmm But I like it because what David Triple H said himself. Sometimes you might get a 2 hour show. Sometimes you might get a three. You never know. They have that room to play with whatever they want as long as it's content filling and they're telling their stories.
That's pretty awesome. Now they won't go offline. They won't go off signal, and you miss what happened. So a lot of things
Hmm.
going on.
Man,
I
I
mean,
was never a fan of that growing up when he would record on the old VCR, going boomer here, the VHS, and you forgot you timed it for 2 hours and it ended up being a 2 hour and 15. Even the DVRs would do that. They wouldn't even pick up all
DVRs,
the
DVRs,
do that.
TiVo, and all that shit would do that. But hey, times have changed. Now you can just record it on YouTube TV if you want it to your digital DVR.
Hmm.
So, I mean, what a time to be alive.
Yup. Cody in the chat, with Green becoming such a staple in WWE, do we see Matt Cardona as a Royal Rumble surprise? It would be nice. It would be nice, but are
He's
they going to
always
bring him back
ready.
as Zack Ryder? Or are they going to
No,
let him do his Matt Cardona only because he doesn't want to come back to WWE if he's going to be Zack Ryder? He's already publicly said that
I
or put
think
that in
I
interviews.
I think he's done a great job of killing off that character and building his own name, like Cody did or Drew Mack and Shane. Not Sheamus. Who else did it? Like, there's a lot of wrestlers who left and came back and just were bigger than when initially they started.
Hmm.
And I think being 5 years in the Indies and being the indie guy, the deathmatch king, whatever you want, whatever he calls himself nowadays, like he's earned that right to be Matt Cardona. I think, and that's a pretty. If you see his vignettes, his videos that he puts out for himself, that he's self-funded, dude, that motherfucker loves wrestling and he invests
Hmm.
in himself. Like I would hate to say that WWE couldn't capitalize on that kind of passion, whether you liked them before or not. Like, he's doing it now. He's made a name for himself now, so that'd be pretty badass. He is the first, and him and his wife are the very first U.S. championship holders. First couple, first man and husband, whatever, or husband and wife. So,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
yeah, Cody said he's a 3-time indie wrestler of the year. And he's been on the Indies for 5 years, and he's been there 3 years. How the fuck is this guy a 3-time indie winner when he had been his initial run was WWE? That shows you how much he outworks everyone else. So
Very true.
that'd be pretty badass. And I would love to see that for a lot of other wrestlers also. Like, Baron Corbin has got left out, and he was at that Bloodsport match with Josh Barnett on GCW as Tom Pollock
Hmm.
or something.
Hmm.
Tom something, and it was badass. He's a judo fighter. He's a Golden Globes, fighter or champion, NFL superstar. Like, dude, you could do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things, and sometimes people just need that push to leave, reinvent themselves, and come back stronger. So
That's right.
you just never know.
That's right. Even some of the ones back years back that were mid Carters are starting to get their flowers and light shown on them in other companies. I love the maximum male models
That
that were on
that shtick
WWE,
is
and
so
now they're
funny, but it
and
works.
now
It works in Ring of Honor.
it works even better in AEW and Ring of Honor. Now they're doing their XMM models or whatever. And it's funnier. They're able to do what they want more. They don't have writers that are trying to not let them do whatever kind of six innuendo jokes they're trying to do and be edgy. You
Yeah,
know,
because they're not they're
it,
not they're
it,
not they're not following to the PG era. They're doing AEW kind of, not necessarily balls to the wall, but able to push the envelope
mm-hmm.
more. They brought Rico back,
Yep.
so I mean, shit, dude. Like, it's a lot of things going on. Well, oh.
We got some breaking news brought here by Cody Russo and the Russo broadcast. Matt Cardona made his return to TNA Wrestling on the live episode of TNA Impact, which is today's day, January 23rd. Cardona was announced as the first challenger for the Joe Henry and the TNA World Championship. He received his title match in the main event of the show. Wow.
Nice. So there you go. Like, I mean, and with that partnership with TNA and WWE, it's not unrealistic to think that you could see him on NXT, because NXT is a whole new show now. It's not even a feeder
Hmm.
company anymore. It's not even a feeder brand anymore. It's its own thing. They've made it its own thing.
Of course, because now they have WWE's ID prospect.
ID, and what is the other one? The NIL. They have a lot of things going on, right? So
Hmm. They're trying to
capitalize on the indies.
handpick the fruits out of all the trees and bring it into their own little world of how they do their things. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm gonna be that
I'm
antagonist
I'm
on
gonna
this
I'm gonna
one.
I'm gonna I'm gonna hit you a little bit. I wouldn't have been a fan of it if Vince McMahon was still at the helm. I'm open to see what happens. I get your
I'm
logic.
still
I'm
not a
open.
fan
I'm
of
open
it.
to see what
My
happens.
logic that I'm gonna put out there is because you're not giving the indie wrestlers a chance to be indie wrestlers.
Yeah, don't let them create bad habits before they get them. That's what
Well,
they're doing.
there's plenty of stars out there that aren't creating
Yeah, but they don't know how to they don't know how to work
bad
TV. They
habits
don't know how to work
while
TV.
they're
That's the
out there.
problem. That's the thing. They don't
Well,
know how to work
first you
TV.
got to learn how to work a match, and that's where NXT really dropped the ball. Was they were trying to bring up stars, they were doing well at it, and then they started pushing their brand, but they weren't giving the up and comers that were super green the chance to really grow as much as they should have, because you started bringing in more indie darlings when you brought in Roderick Strong and Aleister Black and Adam Cole, because they wanted a new outlet to be put on TV, and then the ones that really needed the work to start growing and doing stuff, they didn't get the chance to, like they should have, like the show was originally made for. It was basically OVW put on TV, Ohio Valley Wrestling put on TV, given their show with an actual TV time slot. So how do you do that? And then you start pushing the brand, and then what happened to everyone else you had under the blanket? Just let them go.
They went to NXT
Just
level up. Now that all those people are NXT level up, let them be. Let them be on level up.
NXT. Nah. But the whole point is if you're gonna keep pulling stars off of the indies that are trying to do their best, going to schools, doing these backyard shows, and anything else that's going on that's gonna help build a repertoire, and just put them in the WWE machine, who's gonna watch? Then you're stuck with Lyra Valkyrie winning the Intercontinental Championship for the women. Exactly. Exactly. Regardless of what it is they're trying to push over, it's just still another entity of the WWE machine. It's just a little watered down compared to when Vince was there, because Vince really didn't want to do that to begin with. He had his carnival animals the way he wanted them, and they were doing all the tricks for the people and getting the money that he wanted. Why do you think we always had the big, burly, muscular people instead of the stars you have now that are starting to roam the TVs? Because not everyone needs to be jacked up on steroids and muscles and stuff. I mean, now they're finally bringing in people that we want to see. Motor City Machine Guns is a great example. We
That's
finally get them in. They threw the titles on them too. Great, man. How many years did it take for them to get to the big show? There's
28.
plenty of there's plenty of wrestlers out there that are doing that, but they've made names for themselves other places. Yeah, they're at the end of their career. They're still fucking pumping it, man. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. But I'm just happy to finally see them on a main roster card. I'm ready to see some others do something too. You know, let's bring back Undisputed Era. You know,
They're already
Let-
doing
let's-
it AW. They're doing it AW right now. What is it called? Something Kingdom?
yeah, the
Undisputed Kingdom. Undisputed
the
Kingdom.
Kingdom. Yeah, but why not bring an Era back to WWE? Because those are now the people that you're putting in front. You don't have to be 7 foot tall and gothic. You don't have to be 6'3" and 30-inch pythons. You can actually be just a stout guy that can actually go and run and be technical.
They have Kevin Owens. They have Sami Zayn. They got that shit. Like those people aren't fucking jacked or huge, but there you go, dude. Like it's happening. You're slowly seeing the change, and I understand you maybe not be a friend of the ID prospect or the fucking. And I'm sure you don't care about the NIL because those are just college athletes. But the cherry picking of the indies you might have a problem with. But I'm sure those people who are getting cherry picked are fucking pumped, regardless of how you feel about it. I'm sure they're like, fuck yeah, I get WWE wants me. They're gonna train me. They're gonna pay me or pay someone to train me better. Like, it is what it is, dude. It's a win-win all the way around.
Is it though?
It is.
'Cause remember, anybody that's under the WWE tree is an independent contractor.
Every wrestler's an independent contractor. What's your
You're gonna
point?
talk about. You're gonna talk about no. AEW treats it like a sports contract.
And that's why everyone
That's
takes.
why
That's why
when
everyone
they're
takes
not on
advantage of
TV
Tony Khan. That's
When they're not
why
on
everyone
TV,
takes
they're
advantage
still
of Tony
getting
Khan.
paid. What
That's
about
why
the people that want to be
everyone-
on TV and aren't on TV? They're still getting paid. Ricky Starks wants to fight on TV, They're not letting him, so he wants out. But guess what? He's still getting paid because he's under a salary. WWE wrestlers aren't under a salary like that. Like, if you're under a salary job, you go to work no matter what, right? Monday through Friday, even weekends. These guys should be doing the same thing, but they get paid per booking. Compared to like AEW, they're chilling at home. They get hurt or they're not being used on TV. They're still getting paid
Some are on that per what is it called?
per diem.
Per appearance deal. There's a lot of people that they don't talk about like that, and although AEW has hired a lot of indie people and a lot of indie people who are more famous, like a lot of those people you don't hear about. The people who left or quit or just didn't renew contracts is because they were in that situation. What you're bitching about now about these people not getting full contracts, like that's why people take advantage of Tony Khan. Kudos to him for having all that money and doing all that awesome shit for people. But there's a point of being too nice, and that's what's happening to him. And everyone who's left his company, the only negative thing they've ever said about Tony Khan is he's too nice to the boys. That's it. He's playing with his action figures that he paid for, and doing whatever the fuck he wants. And that's why there's no progression on storylines or whatever. But when he gets tired of you, you put to the side, and you go to the next broken person, the next toy. But that shit gets old because all your value and your stock that you put into it, and even what Tony Khan put into you, it just fucking deteriorates. And then when you come back like MJF, there's nothing going on, and you're not even getting a reaction anymore. But when he was a fucking champion, he was getting a lot of reaction. There was any program that he was in was fucking hot. He was with a program with Adam Cole who couldn't even fucking wrestle, and it was fucking hot. Like, come on, like there's a lot of things going on. It's just there's pros and cons to everything. Let's be realistic. There's pros and cons to everything, and regardless of what that is, we'll end in that note saying, hey, this is what Beyond the Ropes is all about. Having a conversation. It's not an argument. We might get loud, we might get snippy, we might cut each other off, but it's a conversation because we're so passionate about wrestling in general. We all have we have pros and cons for every company. I favor other companies more than some, and Fern does the same. It is what it is.
If you have the last word, doesn't mean it's right.
Exactly, and as you can tell, Fern always tries to get the last word, and he's clearly not right. So there you go.
It's not right.
This is the inaugural Beyond the Ropes episode. This is gonna become an episodic series every Thursday night live on Twitch. Streaming. If you want to catch us back, you're going to catch us on Stream VOD, YouTube, Spotify with video. It's going to be on, you're going to hear the audio on Amazon Music, iTunes, Apple Music. I'm going to post it everywhere. Leave comments.
I didn't even hear this. I didn't even know this.
Yeah. Oh, no. I found a link
awesome.
and how to do it properly. So it's going to be done. And leave comments on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, at Beyond the Ropes Pod. You know, we're going to be posting videos, pictures of us being at live events, pictures from the past, from other shows that we attended. We'd love to hear some feedback, things you want to talk about, topics you want to talk about. At one point in a couple of months, we might start doing pre-recorded Tuesday nights, but for now, we'll be doing live Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone.
We're gonna be in the mix in the midst of things. We're gonna be in the mix of things. It's gonna be fun. We want to bring you just the entertaining side of stuff. I mean, who are we? We're just a couple of guys. We're a couple of wrestling nerds. We love watching the product. We love giving our opinion about it. We love giving our side of things. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's just you talk about it at the water cooler with your friends, right? The next day, you talk about it. You know, hey man, did you catch that fight last night? Did you catch that game last night? Did you catch this last night? Guess what? Yeah, we caught it too. And here we are to talk about it with you. So be sure to join in. Be sure to catch us here every Thursday for as many Thursdays as we can put in. We're going for a record this time around, but we definitely want your opinions. We definitely want you to join in. We would definitely want you in the chat. Thank you, Cody Brusso, our producer, Brusso Broadcast. He's got his show coming up. I wanted to say it was Brusso and the Boys, but it's the Brusso and Millie show. I know they're doing their live Mondays at 9:30 a.m. for sports news. Check out Brusso's Sports Show live on Mondays at 9:30 a.m. Wherever you catch your videos.
Where you catch your videos. I want to say this. I mean,
Facebook.
On Facebook. Oh, Facebook Live. I want to say this. Like, I think it's awesome that now it's not a fucking secret to be a fucking wrestling fan.
Yes.
And Netflix is fucking this. Them WWE moving to Netflix just fucking proves it. AEW on HBO Max just fucking proves it. TNA and on their fucking streaming side, ROH on Ring of Honor thing, or like you can catch wrestling anywhere, everywhere. I've never been to a show where it's not fucking packed. I've never been to a fucking event where there's wrestlers that's not fucking full of excitement. Like, it's awesome to be a fucking wrestling fan. It's awesome that finally it's not a fucking what's the word? It's not a guilty pleasure anymore. Like, it's out there. People are like, oh shit, did you see Roman Reigns? Oh shit, did you fucking see John Moxley? Oh shit, did you see that move? That crazy move you did? You saw this crazy match that happened? I don't know that guy's name, but I want to watch more matches. That's fucking awesome. That's awesome to us because we've experienced that throughout the years with people like Zack Sabre Jr., where we didn't know who the fuck he was, and then we saw a match and we are like, dude, I want to see more Zack Sabre Jr. matches.
I want more. I got sold.
You got that from New Japan. You got Vikingo from AAA. You got Jacob Fatu, who was an MLW, and now he's part of the new bloodline. Like, it's awesome to see people transition from when we saw him.
Who was on AAA, who's in NXT.
And CML, like,
Gulia.
dude, and now, and Gulia from Japan. Like, dude, there's a lot of awesome things that for the past, even within the past 5 years, like, you're getting to see this, and it's pretty awesome that people are pumped to be a part of it, or pumped just to even watch a match or even talk about a match. So, I know I'm excited for 2025. I'm excited for the wrestling world. I'm excited to be here with you every Thursday night, along with my partner, my hetero life mate, Fernando. Like, this is awesome. We're going to get into it every week. Like I said, hit us up on those socials. Watch out for those videos on every platform you can fucking think of. There's going to be a lot of cussing, a lot of drinking, a lot of banter, a lot of bullshit. Like, that's just what you're going to get from us. It's real.
And burping.
No burping. But it's real. It's real. We hate each other. We've known each other for a long, long time.
Better 20 years. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of love, hate there. And especially when it comes to wrestling, we're very passionate, and we're always going to try to push our opinions upon each other. And it works sometimes. On each other. There's a lot of shitting on each other. That's going to happen a lot. But we appreciate you tuning in live another Thursday night. Catch us on everything for RetroRelapse, a.k.a. Fern, myself, Randizzle, a.k.a. Randy. We're beyond the ropes. Thank you.